special Money in the Bank predictions panel episode. Try saying that 5 times fast of the BCP. Very excited to welcome back our all-star stellar panel. Please welcome first. You know him from Sweet Chin Musing's podcast. He is the Mr. Perfect of the BCP. Kimmy's favorite member of the BCP, Mr. Mike Mueller. Mueller, what up, Mike? How you doing over there in Detroit?
Oh, yeah, everything's just peachy over here in Detroit, Rob. I'm glad you caught me today because I'm leaving tomorrow, heading out to Las Vegas to see that Money in the Bank action live.
Are you really?
So, yep, went to Blood and Guts on Wednesday, and I'll be at Money in the Bank on Saturday. So I'm globetrotting, you know.
I'm rolling with this guy in the near future. Well, have fun, man. I want live reports all the way around. All right.
Oh, yeah. It's my buddy who also does Sweet Chin Musings with me. Luke is going to be there too, and we're going to do an immediate. I'm packing my microphone, and we're going to do an immediate live reaction as soon as it's over. So it'll be fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Good to have you here, man. Appreciate it. And guys, please welcome back to the podcast. 2 thumbs up for her. You know her as the goodest sister. You know her from the popbreak.com, the BCP, Maria Kanellis' personal protege. Kimmy Talks Wrestling, Elite POV. The list goes on and on and on. Miss Kimmy, so cool. Kimmy, what up? How are you?
I'm here. We are ready. It is Money in the Bank season. We're going to watch a visionary climb that ladder for the second time in his career and take it all the way. And Mike, I'm so glad you get to see it live. You get to see Seth Rollins win the Money in the Bank. I'm so happy for you.
Seth does very well when I'm in attendance, just saying.
Oh,
exactly.
Good.
So that he's going to win. Thank you for agreeing with me. You're the best.
Very interesting. Kimmy, good to have you as always. Thanks for always making time. And we are honored right now. We are not worthy. Please welcome back to the show, making her long-awaited return. You know her from A Wrestling Gal, SE Scoops, Women's Wrestling Talk Pod, Bell to Bells. The list goes on and on. A trailblazer in the media industry for wrestling and women's wrestling. Please welcome back to the show, Miss Ella J. Ella, welcome in. How are you?
I'm good. I think Kimmy has me beat for the amount of things we do. You forgot virtual signing Hall of Famer. And there's probably some other things in there that we're missing, but I'm so glad to be back.
We're glad to have you. We're just trying to take Kimmy down a few pegs every time.
And she'll
so
remind
cool.
us.
Yeah, she'll let you know.
I am so cool. There you go.
Kimmy.
I'll remind you because I have a legendary resume.
You do.
It has to be gloated out there into the universe.
That's it. As you should. Shameless promo, like we always say here on the BCP. Welcome in John Blaine from the Around the Ropes podcast. Let us know in the chat who you got. And Kimmy, since I'm giving you a hard time already, where would you like to start? I think I have a feeling I know where you want to start. Where do you want to start on this one?
No, we should do that one last. Why would we do that first?
Balls in your court.
Let's go with Ronda Rousey versus Natalya, because this feud has been a little interesting. Okay, number one, we had Natalya dress up as Ronda Rousey for no reason on Friday. It was a little scary. I never want her to do that again. Second of all, these are the best promos that Natalya has ever cut in her career. I don't know what's taking so long for her to get a microphone, but damn, that girl could talk. Number three, Ronda Rousey needs to leave. I don't know what's happening. Her promos are garbage. She clearly doesn't want to be there, but she's the SmackDown Women's Champion. So I'm going to go with Ronda Rousey because there's no way Natalya's winning.
Yeah, that's a fair assessment. Ella, what are your thoughts on this one and Ronda
I mean,
Rousey
I basically agree with everything Kimmy said. Natalya has been carrying this feud, and also Natalya's Twitter feed has been absolutely amazing. She made a whole mashup of Ronda Rousey, and like I said, honestly, like Kimmy said, that impersonation of Ronda was kind of scary, but honestly, Natalya's impersonation of Ronda's makeup was better than Ronda's actual makeup. At least to me. I'm so sorry. Unfortunately, I mean, they needed to give Ronda, I think, the only plausible woman left on the roster with, you could have had Shayna, but you could have had Shayna. They've had that alliance before. I think that would have also been intriguing, but Natalya, I feel like, is the safest and most experienced person on the SmackDown division while Charlotte is out. Obviously Ronda is retaining here, but I am going to enjoy seeing Natalya kick her ass and put her in the sharpshooter.
Yeah, very, very well said, Mike. I know you don't like going last, so help us out here.
No, that's for this pay-per-view. That's quite all right. Forbidden Door, I was a little peeved. You guys are stealing all of my points, but for this one, I don't have many points to make. Echoing what Ella and Kimmy said, it's definitely a Ronda retaining it. I think Natalya as Ronda Rousey is more entertaining than Ronda Rousey. So if we could have Natalya fight Natalya as Ronda, like when you like in Mortal Kombat, when you have like Scorpion versus Scorpion, and it's just it still works, I feel like that would be more entertaining. I agree. I don't think Ronda really wants to be here. I think she did it for a paycheck to begin with. It just doesn't seem like her heart's in it. She's not good on the microphone. She's fine in the ring. Like, I don't think she's as bad as other people say she is, but she's not champion level for sure. It's going to be an easy retain. God bless Natty for just, taking all this work, putting it around her back and just steamrolling ahead. Shayna is a more interesting matchup. And I think if they do Ronda versus Shayna right, it could be really, really interesting. But I think there's really, Natty's that to make a baseball reference, Natty's the utility player. Yeah. You can put her in wherever you need her to be and you'll be fine. It's safe. It's good. But she's not a champion. Utility players don't win MVP, so she's not going to be the champion, but she's going to put on a hell of a match. She's going to carry Ronda through this match, and hopefully she gets a little bit of reward for it as far as just some kind of push in the future goes, because damn, that woman has worked really hard for a really long time.
Yeah, very well said, all you guys. And guys, please welcome to the chat. John saying, I'd love to see either Liv or Raquel go after Ronda. I'd love to see Raquel go after Ronda. That'd be interesting. Robert Stone brand in the chat. Over
yeah.
There, bro. How are you, man? We miss you. Nick Speranzo watching. Thank you, guys. Please share the stream. Let us know in the chat who you got as my microphone runs away from me. I'm just going to say that Ronda, like I've said it several times on this show, less is more with her on the microphone. Making that transition from MMA to WWE has been interesting, is the word I will use. I watch a lot of interviews with her, and like I would love to interview, more people in WWE and stuff. But man, like she gets kind of snippy, and I get a little scared. Even right now, I'm scared because I'm saying these things about her. But no disrespect, she's a great performer. It's always been just a weird fit for me. Her coming back, after going away, spending time with the family first, that was amazing. But this is just kind of an interesting feud. I don't see Ronda losing here. That being said, I wouldn't mind seeing Raquel or someone kind of, cashing in or getting a title shot or something like that. I'm just ready for something different and a change. So let's move on from this match. No disrespect. Let's talk about the United States Championship that is now on Austin Theory, who had a fun little interaction with John Cena backstage at Raw, which was really cool. Cool to see Cena. Welcome in Ryan Peterson to the chat. How are you, bro? All the love back to you, and let us know who you got. Austin Theory or Bobby Lashley. I'm actually going to go real quick. I'm just going to go Austin Theory retains here. Bobby Lashley, former WWE champion. The resume speaks for himself. Theory's on the rise right now, or just Theory now. We have a hypothesis that Theory's going to win. Mike, what do you got?
So on my podcast, I actually picked Lashley, and my reason why is because there is something about how much time he's being given to celebrate after his wins. It's noticeable, and he's running around the ring and he's grabbing the title. I know it was the WWE title. I don't have a feeling that they're done putting gold on Bobby Lashley. I'm going to change my pick for this. I'm going to pull a Kyle from Forbidden Door. I'm going to go with Theory, but I'm really torn on this. This is actually the match I'm most intrigued by, because Theory is on the rise, and the whole McMahon protege thing, they're working that pretty hard. And I love what Theory's doing, but I just have a feeling the way they're presenting Lashley, they're still presenting him really, really strong. And I would say before this time next year, he's carrying another title. I don't know if it's going to be this or the WWE championship or who knows, but they don't seem to be, a lot of times after you lose the title, you slide down on that level of importance scale. And it doesn't seem like Bobby's really sliding down. They're trying really hard to keep him sort of relevant, I guess. So I'm going to pick Theory, but this to me is the coin flip of the night.
Yeah, I think it could go either way. I saw Kimmy shaking her head a little bit. A lot of theories in the chat. Welcome in, Dudes at Ringside podcast. Kimmy, I saw you shaking your head at certain times when you started. Are you going Theory to retain as well?
No. All right. First of all, here, you got to remember, Raw does not have a champion as of right now. Roman Reigns is off on his vacation hoarding those titles. So the thing is, you're not building anybody up because you have no title to build people up to, which is why Theory is most likely going to wrestle John Cena at SummerSlam. I'm going to book that right now. I'm not buying his whole, I have no idea when I'm going to wrestle again. He's going to wrestle at SummerSlam. They got to sell out that stadium in Nashville, and that's the way to do it. You already announced Brock and Roman, and you can make more revenue by announcing John Cena. Everyone wants to see that match. It's truly the passing of the torch. You could put the title on Lashley, so then Cena could beat Theory, and Cena's not the U.S. champion, so you don't have to forget about another mid-card title, because do you know what the Intercontinental Championship is? I don't know either. So that's why Bobby Lashley will be winning the U.S. Championship. Again, go Bobby Lashley.
Okay,
Walter's the IC champ.
What?
You said, do you know who the Intercontinental Champion is?
I know who it is. It's Gunther, but like they don't use it. It hasn't been defended on a pay-per-view since WrestleMania 37.
Cena needs to win it to become a Grand Slam champion. So, but Ella, I saw you nodding your head a lot when Kimmy was talking. What do you got?
Yes, because everything Kimmy said is true. If the plan is for Cena and Theory at SummerSlam, Theory's got to drop the championship. And Bobby Lashley losing to Theory, I feel like is a slap in the face, but we've seen crazier things happen in WWE. And that's me talking as a fan and a critic of the product. But Theory better not be Bobby Lashley. I swear he better not. And also, I mean, Bobby Lashley, I feel like has been one who's carried the brand a lot, especially while Roman Reigns, just like Kimmy said, off doing his own thing, not showing up once every 8 weeks or whatever. Bobby Lashley's been there consistently. I mean, throughout the whole pandemic. I mean, he was WWE champion last year, and I mean, earlier this year too as well. And I think if you're going to have somebody there to be the main champion on your show while Roman Reigns isn't there, Bobby Lashley is the guy to do it. And that being the U.S. title. And especially if you're going to have Cena in Theory at SummerSlam, which is crazy that it's a month from today. That's going to be fun. But especially if your plan the next 4 weeks is to build up Cena in Theory, you had that little interaction on Raw. Theory's got to drop the championship. I will be honestly thoroughly shocked if Theory beats Bobby Lashley, unless there's no way he beats him cleanly. I'll tell you that. If he does win, there's no way it's going to be clean.
No.
But Bobby Lashley needs to win here.
I have a question though.
Sure.
Why does Theory need to not have the title to face Cena? It doesn't have to be a title match at SummerSlam.
Because it just doesn't make sense. Like, I feel like
it's
bigger if it's not a title, because then it's like, because then, the casuals are going to be like, oh my God, the WWE, we're getting about another mid-card title.
But it would make sense.
The casuals don't care about mid-card titles, first of all.
We love all our fans here on the BCP.
I feel like it'd be different if it was the Intercontinental Championship, because it's the only one Cena hasn't held to make him a Grand Slam champion. He's already been a U.S. champion, so I don't see them having Cena wrestle for the U.S. championship. I could see them having him wrestle for the Intercontinental Championship had Theory been that champion, but he's not. So I don't personally think that they're gonna save another match. I feel like Cena's gonna be one separate thing, and then they're gonna have the United States Championship be a whole separate entity at SummerSlam.
I actually agree with what you said. Yeah, very, very well said. All y'all in the chat, welcome in Conrad and Everything Pro Wrestling Podcast, and he's saying Theory as well.
Hi, Conrad.
Yeah, Conrad.
Yes.
But
and Everything Pro Wrestling is local to me, so hello.
Yes, shameless promo, all about it. But yeah, I also agree with you, Ella. If Theory does win, I think it would be a hooker by Crook or some funny business, which would only add to what he's doing right now. McMahon's handpicked guy. Let's talk about the tag team, the unified tag team championship match. The Usos from the Bloodline taking on the Street Profits. I mean, how many times on this show have we said the Street Profits are money? I remember seeing them on a house show at NXT in Asbury Park before they were on TV. I saw Montez Ford walk out, still doing the cup bit. They've been in NXT forever. And I was like, this guy's a star. I got a picture with him, man. I'm like, this guy's going to be something huge. You see people like The Rock tweeting out, this guy's a star. We talked to Steve Macklin, name drop, shameless promo. And he just said, Montez doesn't know how athletic he is. I said, it's a good thing he's not in the Money in the Bank match, because he could literally just jump up and grab that thing. He's amazing to watch. They're amazing to watch. and I hate to be like this cliche, like, oh, they're gonna break up and turn on each other like every other team ever, and we're trained to think that way, kind of thing. But like, there's got to be some point where Montez somehow separates himself. And no disrespect to his partner, that stardom, that momentum, they've held, I believe, both those tag team championships on both brands. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't see them beating the Usos here. This is just going to be a solid match. It's going to be really good. Reminds me a lot of like the New Day Usos matchups. It's just going to be just like a good match like that. Two really great tag teams. I'm excited. Like we always say, the real winners, the fans. And I hate to be like, oh, there's going to be dissension and Montez is going to do his thing. But I think something's going to come of this where either Montez is not necessarily on his own, but there's more shine on Montez, or there's more story or long-term storytelling revolving around him. This should be very interesting. Maybe this is just wishful thinking and fantasy booking. That being said, I don't see the Usos losing. Ella, what's your mindset in this one?
I think there's no way the Bloodline walks into SummerSlam not intact with all their championships. Especially on their second biggest pay-per-view of the year behind WrestleMania. However, I mean, I would absolutely love for the Street Profits to win here. I think this is going to be a banger of a match between four very athletic people who have great energy and great athleticism and charisma. I want the Street Profits to win, but I don't think there's any way that the Bloodline doesn't walk in with still all the championships into SummerSlam. That's literally in 4 weeks. So it's going to be a great match, but I do see the Usos retaining here.
Yeah, I agree. Kimmy, Mike likes going last, so what do you got?
Yay. So the one thing I hate about this is like WWE never learns how to make tag teams, because we've seen like this match is literally like the Usos versus New Day. We've seen it so many times. And although it's good, it gets stale after seeing it so many times. Why? Why couldn't it be the Viking Raiders? They just re-debuted on SmackDown. Like, make it make sense.
But they're also
people.
Heels. And I don't think they would do heel on heel at Money in the Bank.
I know, but like new. I just like
makes sense.
So I'm like, bro, obviously the Usos are gonna win. Please don't do this at SummerSlam again. Like, whatever you do, if I see the Street Profits and Usos at SummerSlam again, I might like go run somewhere, because I'm sick and tired of this match. Make new tag teams, WWE. This is why the Young Bucks did not sign with your company, and you have not improved to try to make your tag team division better. Let me know.
Interesting. I'm going to throw it to Mike, and I Mike is very in tune with WWE booking, and I think you got some sort of curveball coming at me, or you're thinking something.
Well, I can give you a very good reason why the Usos should lose the titles before SummerSlam, because if you want to get me intrigued to the idea that Roman Reigns might finally lose to Brock Lesnar for the first time, maybe it's because there's already cracks in the bloodline happening, and it starts with the Usos losing. Roman's pissed off at the Usos. Now there's some contention and some weirdness going on. I don't think that's going to happen, but I think that it would be very good storytelling. And Kimmy, to combat you, you say you want something new, and I get it. We all want something new, but to be fair to WWE, which whether they deserve to get the benefit of the doubt or not, we are seeing Carmella and Natalya in a title picture in the title match at this pay-per-view. And that's something we haven't seen in a while. So we are getting some new things. This is same old, same old. It's going to be good. What I'm also really excited about, though, is I'm seeing, eventually probably the Street Profits are going to break up, but they're getting a little bit more of an edge. Their last couple promos in the back have been a little less, we're funny, we're here to have a good time. And there's a little bit more of, we're going to mess you up and we're coming for you. And there's this edge and this seriousness to the Street Profits that we haven't seen before that I do like. I like the direction the tag team's going. If they really commit to this, Montez can keep his cup, but stop with the solo cup shooting every time. Like I don't think that fits this new kind of persona that they're developing for them. As long as they keep going in that direction, I see no reason to break them up anytime soon, because we are getting a new version of this team, it seems, and it's happening slowly but surely. I would love to see them win here, because I think that would make me go, oh, maybe things aren't so good in the bloodline. Maybe Roman is a little bit of a little bit of a, I don't know. I lost I lost my train of
You
thought.
tried.
But I tried. I need a reason to believe Roman's in danger. And I don't believe he's in danger. They got 4 weeks to convince me otherwise. But right now, I have no doubt that he's going to win at SummerSlam. So give me a reason to think, oh, maybe everything isn't good on the home front.
Let's call him Gwen Stefani because he's got no doubt. Let's talk about our next man. That's pun disputed. Let's talk about our next match, the Raw Women's Championship match. Carmella, will she be Money in the Bank, taking on the EST of WWE, Bianca Belair? This should be a good match. I always love seeing Bianca. I don't see any reason for Bianca to lose here for so many reasons. I can go on and on and on. Kimmy, what's your thought about this match?
I want to know the exact reason why they took Rhea Ripley out, because I low-key believe it's not injury, and they were just upset that they booked themselves in a corner. Let's be real. That's what I believe, but that's my wild WWE theories. Anyway, obviously Carmella is not going to win. Why would she? They probably literally forgot she was there and was like, oh my God, we have nothing for you to do at Money in the Bank. You could be in this match. And now here we are. So obviously Bianca's going to win. I'm kind of nervous for SummerSlam because if my Money in the Bank winner is not going to do what every other woman's Money in the Bank does and cash in that night or the next night, I'm kind of intrigued to see who Bianca's facing. But who knows? History might repeat itself, and the woman's Money in the Bank winner might cash in that night or the next night on Raw, because she never holds the briefcase for more than 48 hours.
Unless you're Carmella.
Yeah, unless you're Carmella, who holds it for like 100 days. Everyone else, it's like, oh, no, I don't want this anymore. I'll just cash it in and see what happens.
Like Nikki ASH.
Yeah. You called that one.
Who called that one?
Oh, there it is.
Not you.
Not you. Smart guy. All right, smart guy. What do you got in this one? And do we see James Ellsworth reemerge?
Oh my Lord, I hope. Oh God, no chin music. Come on. How are you not missing that in your life? No, this is definitely Bianca again talking about. This is more of like a change back to the character, but I'm glad we got rid of Carmella's stupid mask. She was trying to do like a Cody Rhodes thing, but it ended up looking more like Man in the Iron Mask, and it never played really well. I like that she's back more to fun, kind of old school Carmella, less the most beautiful woman in the world. But she's got no chance here. Bianca is a beast, and she's going to make, I think, pretty short work of Carmella. I think Carmella's there just to make Bianca look really, really good. It hasn't been a whole lot of build up to this match or excitement. But I did say, I was very shocked that she won that 5-pack challenge or whatever they call it. I like being surprised. I like being surprised. So I was happy to see that we got a surprise winner there instead of Becky Lynch again or something like that. And we're getting a different match. We get to watch a different match. And that's about probably the best thing I can say about this match is at least it's different.
Yeah, and I know what you're saying. I like being surprised. Let's throw it to multiple time #wrestling fashion nominee Miss Ella J.
I think how Mike was saying earlier, how Natalya is a utility player, Carmella is also proven to be in the past. I mean, last year, granted, she didn't technically wrestle at last SummerSlam, but she was the substitute opponent for a hot minute against Bianca when Sasha was out at SummerSlam. And I want to say there's something else where I feel like there's another situation where she was also stepping up to the plate in that, but I feel like she kind of like Natalya has also been a utility player when given in certain circumstances. And obviously I think Rhea Ripley has a concussion or something with her brain going on, they said. And I do like the curveball of her being in there because, I mean, she's had championship matchups before. Granted, do I think she's going to win this? No, but if you're trying to book Bianca Belair strongly into SummerSlam, I mean, this gives her a dominant win. Who else was in that 5-pack? Alexa. I'm trying to remember right now. Liv.
Asuka.
I was asking someone else.
Someone else.
It wasn't Dewdrop, was it?
It was
maybe.
I wanted to say Dewdrop, but I'm not sure.
But basically most of those people were already in Money in the Bank. So I think that would have altered the Money in the Bank plans. So I think Carmella was really the only viable option of those already not in Money in the Bank. So I think this is going to be a strong showing. They've obviously faced each other in the past, and I'm kind of like this new path that Carmella is going down. Like Mike said, kind of reverting back to her old roots, and it's fresh. You know, she's doing something new, and she had a tweet out the other day too. I mean, despite everything that they've thrown at her with no chin music, the mask. I mean, they had her character change, being last minute like substitution. She's still proven herself, you know, as a utility asset to the company. So I think she's going to win here. No, but I do think that it's cool that they're having her step up to the plate and have it be a little bit unpredictable.
Very well said. As always, Ella, I'm glad you're here. Can we just not call her Dewdrop? Can we call her Piper Niven, please?
If you'd like to contact Stephanie McMahon, who's the interim CEO of the company, and you would like to put that request in, then go right ahead.
Oh, I'll put it in the complaint box. With my other complaints, let's talk about the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. We'll save Seth for last, Kimmy. Like you said, we have
amazing.
And correct me if I'm wrong. You always do, Kimmy. Lacey Evans versus Alexa Bliss versus Liv Morgan. I know a lot of people want to see Liv win this one. Jersey's own versus Raquel Rodriguez versus Asuka versus Shotzi versus Becky Lynch. Totally not reading this. Man, I could see this going a lot of ways. I'll throw it to you guys first. I like to go process of elimination with these. That's kind of the fun of it. This is where all the fun of Money in the Bank comes into play. It's going to be a great match, ladder match. You know, some of my favorite things were the Becky Lynch moments and the Asuka moments of the briefcase, and especially when the world was shut down and you had that moment. Man, I got emotional. Like, that was such good storytelling. I wonder if they could kind of bring it into this and Becky's storyline a little bit more than they have. I'm really intrigued by this one. I'm a big Lacey Evans fan. When she was heel, I was like, why would you? Because in NXT and before she was on TV and stuff, she was like, you know, super mom, former military. This is babyface. They made her heel, and she was great at it. But I think making her babyface makes all the sense in the world. So I'm a big fan of Lacey Evans. I would love to see her win this one. A lot of people want Liv. I think it would make sense for Becky to win this. Help me out here. Ella, I'll throw it to you first. Help me out. I'm lost.
Can I actually go last? Because
I
don't think, I'll be shocked if anybody agrees with my pick.
Ooh,
but
I
want to hear other people's answers
I like
first.
the build. I like the long-term storytelling here. All right, Kimmy, what do you got?
Now I feel pressure. Like,
No
wow.
pressure. No pressure.
Okay, so I'll go in order of like kind of how I have a list here. So the thing with Lacey Evans, as much as I would love it, I just don't see it happening. Raquel, no sis, sorry. Alexa Bliss, I feel like, is the real dark horse in this match. I feel like she could, and I said this at Elimination Chamber, I feel like she could literally pop up out of nowhere and just like do like climb the briefcase and win the title. I feel like that true dark horse moment, but it's not going to happen. Asuka, I feel like it's not going to happen either. I feel like they're saving that one-on-one for SummerSlam. What's her face? Is Bianca's still champion, of course. Shotzi, I feel like, is really going to be the star in this match. I feel like this is her element, and you're really going to see like why Shotzi is signed to WWE in this matchup. So I'm really excited for her to have her show out moment. But then I also fear like Aaliyah's going to get involved somehow because, you know, they're kind of feuding on SmackDown a little bit. So I'm like, I don't want her. I don't want her to. Listen, I don't want her to either, but you know, you got to throw everything in a hat in this company. Becky, I find it interesting because she keeps mentioning that her and Seth are on the poster. And she's like, oh my God, we're on the poster. That means we both have to win and we both have to be in this match. And I'm like, ooh, that's interesting, sis. But I really don't want. So half me want to pick Becky, but I just don't see it happening. I think Liv makes sense just because of the fact that she's leaving to film that movie. Because you could literally have her leave to film the movie and then be with the briefcase, and then she just pops out of nowhere for her return and cashes in and wins. So I'm going with Liv Morgan.
Be fun.
I like your pick, Kimmy. I'm going to piggyback off you. And very well said. Very well. I'm proud of you. That was very well put together. You put a lot of thoughts in my head. For the reason you said about Liv filming a movie and doing that whole thing, my thought is the opposite. Because of that reason, she will not win because they like that Money in the Bank, in your face, long-term storytelling, whatever it is. You guys also mentioned the quick cash-ins as well. So we'll keep that in mind. Lacey Evans, I would love to see it. I don't see it here. Alexa Bliss is interesting to me because she's really towing that line of she's back, but who is she? Who is Alexa Bliss? Which version are we getting? And not even just which version, you know, because there's confusion with the doll. Is it a marketing thing? Are we hinting at, is she going to go heel or face? She's just kind of there, and she needs something. Her with that Money in the Bank briefcase makes a lot of sense too. She was a former winner. Help me out. Has she won?
Yeah, she won, and she cashed in 90 minutes later. She cashed in 90 minutes later on Nia Jax versus Ronda Rousey.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say odds are it was probably.
Oh, yeah.
She saved that match, by the way.
She sure
Yes,
did.
she did.
So I'm gonna not go Alexa Bliss. Raquel, I'd love to see it. Always been a big fan of her in NXT. I think that, man, I'm always like a fan of picking like this is almost like this is a star-making opportunity. You win that Money in the Bank. You're 80-something% to win the World Championship. We had been saying like most of this year that we thought Cody would win it and have that failed cash in or whatever. Like one of the few losses you would see with it. I'm gonna go against the grain here. I like to see up and comers get it. I like to see someone like a Liv Morgan who needs an opportunity or needs something to define them a little bit more, with all due respect, just that momentum. I mean, because we love Liv. Everyone's a huge fan. A lot of Livs in the chat. We've always been a pro Becky show, and I hate to go this way. Ever since the last kicker, ever since the goggles, I think I'm gonna go Becky Lynch, because she's kind of in this limbo here, which she doesn't need. We always say the person makes the title, which she certainly did. DMD did over on AEW. I see her with that briefcase, just walking around and doing the complete opposite of like what you said about Liv if she wants. She is always there with the briefcase. She's telling you at any time, I'm a former champ. I've beat Ronda, Charlotte. I beat everybody. I have this. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do it whenever I want, when you least expect it. And it's just promo, rubbing it in your face. This super fashionable, big-time Bex. I think I'm here for it, too. Again, always a pro Becky show. Picking with my heart a little bit, which never works out well, especially in real life. I'm going to go with Becky Lynch. Mike, what do you got?
Well, I've phrased this. I'm picking with my heart burn, because I don't like this. It hurts me to make this pick. But also, too, I want to jump back, because I meant to bring this up during the tag team match. Your boy totally called Billy Gunn turning on his own children like days before it happened. So props to me for that. I'm gonna pull a Kimmy here and just Gary Horowitz it, pat myself on the back. So let's run through this. I think the only person, which is fun about this pay-per-view and what I said last year, and it holds true, Money in the Bank is about good, silly fun. And that's what we like to do. And your boy called it last year with Nikki Ash. I called the wrong silly fun winner last year. I called for Riddle instead of Big E, but still silly fun. If you're looking at silly fun on this group, I think Asuka's your best chance with just the silly, fun kind of character that she is. Let's also not forget that, well, yeah, you have an 80% chance of winning it. You had 100% chance of winning it for a long time, and the numbers have gone down significantly since then. So whoever wins this briefcase, it really doesn't have to be that big of a threat to actually win the title. Like it's really become more of a prop than a glorified or an unglorified championship like it used to be. So I think the only person that you eliminate right off the bat is Shotzi. I think she's the only one that I would throw out. I agree. She's going to get a lot of time to shine. She's going to look really good, but she's the only one I'm giving a 0% chance to win this. I'm sorry. Like, I have nothing against her, but Liv has had her chances to prove herself. And to me, she's failed. I don't believe she's a main event player. I don't. Until I see otherwise, I won't do it. Alexa Bliss, Becky Lynch, both definitely main event players. We've seen them hold the title and run with it. I could absolutely see either of them winning it. But actually, because Alexa Bliss doesn't have this really defined character, I think we don't need her to hold the briefcase. It's not really necessary because there's enough other interesting things going on with her character that she doesn't need to also hold the Money in the Bank briefcase. Becky Lynch is doing really good at losing these days. I think she's going to continue to be really good at losing. I like her when she loses and she gets all pissed off and throws a tantrum. She's great at it. So I want to see another tantrum. So I'm not picking Becky Lynch either. I think Raquel Rodriguez is a really sexy pick here, again, because it's someone that doesn't necessarily have to win they don't have to cash it in successfully, but I think they've got a lot of faith in her, unlike a lot of people that they've done coming up from NXT. I think there actually is a lot of faith in Raquel Rodriguez, and justifiably so. She has the best back in the industry. But I'm actually going to pick Lacey Evans for this. And the reason why I'm picking, first of all, is her finishing move still the women's right, or have? Okay, good. So they haven't taken that away like they seem to be taking all other women's rights. Okay, good. I'm glad there's still some women's rights in the world. I thank you. I actually thought of it on the fly and was putting it together as I was talking through the rest of it. But the reason why I'm picking Lacey Evans is I was forced against my will to learn the entire tragic history of Lacey Evans. And I feel so bad for her. This woman has had to overcome so much and has had so much tragedy and horror in her life. And I don't see the point in doing that if you're going to throw her in the mid card. Like, you have tried so hard to get me to care for her and sympathize for her and root for her that I don't know why you're doing this unless you're giving me a payoff. Like, Lacey overcomes the odds, like she's overcome the odds in her entire life. And she goes up to the briefcase. She climbs the ladder and gets the briefcase. And so for that reason, I'm picking Lacey Evans. And I mean, she's fine. I don't dislike her, but I was never like a Lacey Evans guy. But this just makes the most sense to me.
Interesting. All right, Ella, we've been waiting. What do you got up your sleeve here?
You know how Mike started it saying that Rob was picking with his heart and Mike was picking with his heartburn?
Yeah.
I also have to pick with that same heartburn with Lacey Evans. Now, I don't want to. However, Mike brings up exactly what I was going to say. They had her coming back. I mean, and granted, it's on 4th of July weekend as well. So
that was a good one.
See?
So they had this sob story, had her switching brands, having her heel, having her face another week, having her heel again. I think she's a babe. I don't know what she is now, to be honest with you. No, Xia Li was the heel, so I think Lacey's the face now.
Yeah.
So they had her doing flip-flopping and all of this. So she's a baby face now. They had her doing all of that for weeks upon weeks, and then hyping up this return, and I don't believe they're not going to have a payoff for her. And then 2, it's 4th of July weekend. I want Liv to win really badly, but I think I truly believe last year should have been the year to have Liv win, because she's been losing every major opportunity. I mean, she's beaten Sasha Banks this year. She's beaten Rhea Ripley. She just pinned Alexa Bliss, right? She gets wins, but not when they count the most. She's lost in every championship opportunity. She doesn't win when it counts the most, unfortunately. I think last year was the year to have her pay off and win. And so I think her role has kind of slowed a little bit. She obviously has momentum going into pay-per-views, but also another thing, she just picked up the win on Raw. Typically the winner on Raw on the Go Home show doesn't win Money in the Bank. As much as I want to. Oh, they're gonna
feel the burn, Ella. Feel the burn.
I'm feeling the burn, but I also don't want it. I don't want it to be the predictable Becky Lynch. I really don't. I think it might end up being a triple threat at SummerSlam. I think if Lacey wins, she goes after Ronda. It just has to be in it. I feel the burn. I feel the burn with Lacey Evans.
Ooh.
I don't want it, but I'm feeling Lacey Evans.
Ella, also, this is why you don't defer to go last, because someone comes in and steals your thunder. So I
honestly didn't think anybody, Mike, I didn't think anybody else was going to say it, to be honest. I saw somebody post it originally on Twitter and I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually a good point. And they persuaded me. Because I think originally I had Becky still wanting Liv, but they persuaded me. They wouldn't waste. Well, I mean, who's to say? I would hope they wouldn't waste all this hype they've been having and dropping the ball. I mean, I would love for it to be Alexa too, but Mike made a good point. They're not really sure about where her character is at right now, and she doesn't necessarily need it. I feel like she's a whole strong entity and really popular with the crowd herself. So.
Really, really well said. Lacey Evans with more flip-flops from the Jersey Shore.
I mean, Emelina begs to differ.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true.
But, man, can I change my answer? You guys bring up some really good points. And Mike, I mean, Ella's very smart, but Mike always strangely in tune with the WWE booking. It's very scary at times. Let's
I'll wait
move
for you.
on. Let's go to our next match, which I believe is our last. Is this where Kimmy yells at me, or are we on the last one?
Nope, we are here at Rollins in the Bank. We've
Oh,
made
like
it.
Rollins Rumble.
Kimmy, I'm gonna let you go last. Maybe you'll swerve us. We'll see. We have Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Omos versus Sami Zayn versus Riddle versus TBD. Did I say Seth Rollins? I forget.
No, you didn't.
Oh, he is in that match. Okay, I wasn't sure. First of all, you guys know the deal. Who's the TBD gonna be? I have said for years and years and years, Kevin Owens would just be so money, no pun intended this time, with that Money in the Bank briefcase. I could just see him being perfect. I don't think he's ever won it. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No.
Year after year, Kevin Owens. Obviously, he has something going on with Ezekiel. That could turn into something with Elias or Elrod. I don't know what's going on. My concern is I would love to see the three of them team up, or maybe Elias and Elrod team up. Maybe they could with the tag team championships if they get on the same page. So we'll see what happens. Maybe Ezekiel comes in. But it seems like a tight family. They're all very talented wrestlers, so I can't wait to see what happens with that. That being said, who do you guys think the TBD is? And who do you think is going to win the Money in the Bank here? Let's throw it right back to Ella.
I have literally no idea. I'm going through my head right now of like who is out injured or who could be coming back or who is even like a viable option, because I feel like it has to be like a true surprise. Why? Okay. For some reason, why do I see Austin Theory losing the United States Championship earlier in the night? And then as McMahon's protege, he gets a spot in Money in the Bank.
So you're saying you have a theory.
Yeah.
Yes, I mean we've seen Brock lose the WWE Championship and then go on to win the Rumble.
Yeah.
So I mean I think it depends on the order of the card, but for some reason Theory was my first idea. I would love it for it to be Kevin Owens. I think it's too soon for a Big E return. I don't know how his neck's doing. I think it's too soon. Surprise, it's John Cena. No, I don't really know. Why do I see them pulling a Theory?
That would be scary.
Oh, I think Kevin Owens is a solid choice, though. There's like nobody else that I can think of, to be honest with you.
Who do you think walks out with the briefcase?
Honestly, I don't care. I just hope it's too soon for Omos. It's too soon. Sami Zayn is not winning this either. But I think other than that, I can see them having them throw it on anyone. I want it to be Rollins.
Wow.
Honestly, I just want it to be whoever wins this to cash in at SummerSlam and end this reign of terror for me that I've had for almost 2 years. Please.
This reigns of terror.
Yeah. Ha ha ha. Yes. It's too soon for Omos. Sami Zayn, I mean, he's kind of aligned with the bloodline, kind of not. I think it'd be funny if Sami would win. It's just him on Roman Reigns, honestly. It's got to be Rollins, right? Rollins beat AJ Styles. I think AJ Styles would be good in this match, though, too, but he already lost to Seth Rollins. So I don't know.
Didn't Becky lose a qualifying match? And
It was a last chance 6-pack, which Becky was amazing and got the win and beat everybody as she should. Go off queen.
This one I'm so unsure about. I think it really depends on who this last person is. I don't know. I want it to be Rollins. I really don't know. I have a big question mark. I just hope whoever it is, it's not going to be Omos. It's not going to be Sami Zayn. I don't think it'll be Riddle. He just lost against Roman Reigns. So by default, you got Rollins, McIntyre, Sheamus, and whoever TBD is. One of those four is winning.
Interesting. Really? Yeah.
I don't know. This is all up in the air, to be honest. I really don't know. Just whoever it is, please save me. Be my savior. Seth Rollins.
Man, this is interesting. It's always the most fun when you don't know who's going to win. It's interesting. The competitors in this, to me, are very interesting. It's not a lot of the people that I would have chosen, but I guess this is why I don't work there.
That's because also a lot of people are injured. Big E, Randy Orton, Cody Rhodes. Because all the big names. And then Lashley's in the United States Championship thing. So.
Yes, very well said. Mike, do you want me to go at the risk of stealing your answer, or do you want to take it first, bro?
No, I want to go first. I always want to go first. I don't want you stealing anything.
By all means, brother.
They say I have an ego. Jesus.
Is Randy? There's no way Randy's coming back.
No, he's out the rest of the year.
He had back surgery.
Okay. I'd love to see Kevin Owens. I think that's a really smart choice. What about either possibly Edge or Finn Balor as
why did I not think of that?
Edge is hurt. It could be Finn, but Edge is hurt.
Okay, so then maybe Finn. Finn's a possibility. I'll tell you who it should have been. It should have been John Cena, so he could build up to say, I'm good. Not that he would actually win it, but he should be in this match to say, I'm going to get the Money in the Bank briefcase and I'm going to cash it in at SummerSlam, not when your match is over. I want in this main event, make it a triple threat match. Again, it's another way that you could possibly have me being afraid that Roman Reigns could lose. That's money. Sign me.
He did this before, though. The last time he won Money in the Bank, and then
Correct.
He lost the match that he. Okay.
Correct. Yes, it's a continuation of that story. He announced that he was going to challenge CM Punk on the 1000th episode of Raw, and he lost, and people were happy because they were overseeing at that point.
I love that option, though.
Right, and at the very least, it sells tickets to Money in the Bank because now you got me going. Oh, Cena's coming back for it. It could be Cena. I was blown away that they did not announce that he was in it on Monday. I'm still hoping maybe they'll do it on Friday. I don't know. He could also be, if they don't announce who it's going to be, he could be a surprise, but I wouldn't use him as a surprise. I would use him to sell tickets. Yeah. So I don't see him being a surprise, but possibly on Friday. He could somehow work his way into it. I think it'd be really fun and cute and adorable for Riddle to win and say that he's going to give it to Randy when Randy comes back because he just loves his best friend that much and he missed him so much. So here's a welcome back present, Randy. Sheamus and Drew are going to be after the catastrophe in the castle or whatever it's called. Drew and Sheamus are going to be the Bar 2.0. They're going to get together as bitter enemies, but somehow they have to be a team and they're going to go on to be one of the most underrated teams in the history of WWE, just like Sheamus and Cesaro.
I have a question about that. You know, Sheamus has a faction.
Yes, free agent Kimmy Soko.
Okay, you know that he has a faction already, right? Sheamus? He's with Butch and Ridge Holland.
Right, and you can never just immediately drop the main person from their faction. I mean, let's ask Edge. You could never do that. I was just making sure you were aware. You know, awareness is key in the Butch is always on my mind, Kimmy. Butch is always on my mind. So
okay, I'm just making sure.
Okay. Yeah, definitely not Omos. I'll tell you why, and actually another shout out to my boy Luke on our podcast. He made the best argument for why Sami Zayn should win this because he is in the bloodline and he could do this thing. Sami is Mr. Conspiracy, right? It's always been a conspiracy. They're always out to get him. It's always this thing. What if this time Sami is the conspirator? He gets the briefcase and he's going to say, I would never cash it in on you, Roman. I'm doing this for the bloodline. And Roman buys it. The Usos buy it. Paul Heyman doesn't buy it because he's a smart son of a you-know-what. And he's telling Roman, you don't trust this guy. I'm telling you, he's going to bite you. He's going to be a snake in the grass. He's going to do it. He's going to say, all right, Sami, if you don't want, or if you're just doing this to protect the bloodline and make sure nobody else can cash in, just give me the briefcase. Because if you're not going to cash it in, you don't need to hold it, right? And Sami comes up with some reason why he's not going to just relinquish it. And so there's going to be that doubt in the mind. And Paul is going to constantly be telling Roman Reigns, you got to watch out for Sami. I don't trust Sami. Reigns and the Usos continue to just assume that he's a patsy, while all the while Sami's just waiting for that perfect opportunity to cash in and say, you fools, you let me in. You never should have let me in. And that's what I was going to do. That's what they would do if they wanted to have some really, really smart and fun booking.
I'm here for it.
Right? How great is that? But Seth Rollins is going to win. Drip God, this is his payoff. I do believe he's going to win. The only caveat to that is if John Cena is announced on Friday as the 8th person, then I don't love Rollins' chances so much. But with the card the way it is right now, I think this is definitely Seth's time. He's paid his dues, and I cannot wait to see him win that Money in the Bank briefcase, come down in 90% of the way through SummerSlam, cash in just like he did the first time, and get F5'd and knocked out and lose on his attempt to cash in. But it's going to be a great month for Seth while he holds that briefcase until
I'll be at SummerSlam, and I hope that happens.
Yeah,
that he loses?
No, that he wins. No, I want him to win.
Well, he'll cash in, but it'll be unsuccessful.
Where is SummerSlam again?
Nashville, Tennessee.
A month from today.
Okay, awesome.
As of right now in Titan Stadium, but we'll see if they sell tickets.
We shall see. Very interesting. Piggybacking off what Mike said before we throw it to Kimmy, I always like different. And you even said this earlier, bro. Like all the stuff about Sami Zayn. You know, if I win, I'm going to protect Roman Reigns. That kind of very different. I like different. That's very interesting to me. Do I think he's going to win? No, I think he's going to keep doing his thing, and he's going to be different and have different kind of matches like we saw at WrestleMania and be very entertaining and go against the grain. And I like that. That's perfect for him. I don't see him in the world title picture anytime soon in any form or fashion. And no disrespect, he's just killing it where he is right now. Maybe in the near future, I would love to see him win it. That being said, not my favorite human being on the planet, but a talented performer and storyteller. I think Riddle walks out with the Money in the Bank briefcase because he's going to be flying around on that scooter with the briefcase, and it's going to be, you know, RVD kind of had it all changed up. It's going to be changed up in some sort of thing. There's going to be all sort of, you know, weird references to whatever Riddle does in his spare time and all this crazy stuff. And he's him with Randy. Very entertaining. Again, not my favorite human being in the world, but in terms of just the persona and the character, I do see them going this route. I do see Riddle just coming around on that scooter with the Money in the Bank, bro, and that whole thing. I just see it, and it goes back to what you said, Mike. Funny and silly, Money in the Bank, man. And I think no denying what you think about him outside of the ring, man. It's he has that momentum right now, and I think that he will be your Money in the Bank winner, and no disrespect to any of the competitors, but it's very odd. Like guys like Sheamus and Drew, I just don't see them winning this Money in the Bank, and there should be some interesting stuff. We already know Drew's going to get momentum going into other countries and whatnot. So this should be very interesting. I just see Riddle just flying around on the scooter. Now, Kimmy, you are raising your hand so
no.
politely.
So why isn't Seth winning? Can I have your reasoning as to why Seth Rollins is not winning this match?
Yeah, Rob, why isn't Seth winning?
Why are you pinpointing Seth out of 8 people? I'm just curious.
Because you haven't mentioned him. You mentioned everyone else.
That's a fair point. I said this on the last show. I see Seth being at that point, much like we had seen Daniel Bryan in the past, now Bryan Danielson, where he was low-key, high-key, however you say it, putting other talent over. And I think he's in a very comfortable position to continue doing that, to give others opportunity, that people that do have the momentum right now. And I see him doing that for a while. And again, and I've said it for years on the show, those Shield guys, even though Mox isn't there anymore, they could win titles at any time. They could win Money in the Bank at any time. So if you do pick Rollins, we'll see what happens. I can't disagree with you. I can't.
Get him, Ella.
Those Shield guys can win at any point. So politely, Ella, please.
Get him, Ella.
What other people is there to put over? You have Roman Reigns, who's been dominant as hell, feuding with Brock Lesnar. Cody Rhodes is out. Randy Orton is out. Bobby Lashley is in this United States Championship picture. Drew McIntyre and Sheamus are on SmackDown. Kevin Owens, the only person he could maybe be putting over is Kevin Owens, because honestly, other than that, there really is, and maybe an AJ Styles, there really is no other. There's no other top guys on Raw. Like, they're all preoccupied or injured. What other people is for him to put over?
And we got Brock back too to add to that list. Like, no, you're 100% right. Obviously, the injury bug's going around right now. I'm of that mindset, especially with this recent list of injury bugs and everything going around. It's kind of crazy right now. I want to see who steps up. I want to see who says, hey, this is my turn to change my character or get whatever they put on the script, even if I don't like it, and go the extra mile and make the audience connect or hate me or whatever it is. So I'm just interested. I guess I'm being hopeful is the word. And with WWE, sometimes it's very heartbreaking. No disrespect. This is sometimes the way it goes. And Riddle is not my hopeful pick by any means. He is not someone I'm rooting for. I would love KO to be the TBD and KO to win it. I think that makes sense. And that, not to say he needs to be put over or anything like that, but he's another guy who has that momentum. He's won world championships. But him with that briefcase, I could just see elevating him. And that's in a perfect world or fantasy booking, that's what I would pick. But more importantly, Kimmy's going to throw the biggest curveball at us right now.
Ella's raising her hand. You got to let Ella go first.
Go right ahead.
My Lord.
I think another case for Rollins is he's lost every pay-per-view he's been on this year. right?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So I think this might be the one blip before maybe he loses the cash in. I don't know. I want him to win the cash in. I don't know. He's literally lost every pay-per-view he's been in this
He
year.
doesn't need to win. His character doesn't need to win. He's
who?
above winning. This character, until we get serious Seth Rollins back, this character is above winning. And that is to me, that is a major compliment. That is a short list of people that are above winning. And this drip god Seth Rollins is above winning.
This
also,
is my biggest question mark.
He will never win wrestling passion.
I feel like maybe knowing this eighth man might help, but this match is I can see arguments besides Omos. I can see like arguments for any of them. Like the Sami Zayn one, I would flippin' love that. I could also see them doing the Riddle thing, be like, oh, this is for you, Randy. Here's your present, your homecoming present. I could see them doing that. I can see Rollins winning because he's lost every other match, and he has that history with Brock and Roman. I mean, Sheamus and Drew, I think, have their own thing. I think they're just gonna be feuding with each other during this. I don't think either of them is gonna win. But this seventh man I got a question mark. This match, I don't know. I want it to, man, convince me, Kimmy.
It's El Rod, I think it's going to be. I mean, this was Cody's to win. I think we all knew that.
It was.
It was
Cody's.
It absolutely
so everything
was.
changes. He beat Seth 3 times. It'd be really weird if Seth won if Cody was still here. But in the chat, I'm getting a lot of Seths. Conrad in the chat saying he won at the Rumble by DQ, apparently.
He did, but I don't count that. I need a pin or a submission.
Oh, wow. We have it on record that Kimmy doesn't count that?
Wow. Kimmy,
because then I think that means I beat her at Royal Rumble. That's the reason I'm asking that. No.
Hashtag fight forever.
Also, the last thing I want to say before Kimmy tells us why Seth Rollins is going to win is, Rob, if you're right and Riddle wins, he better treat that thing like a stash box. He better be having it rolling around, and he's with somebody in the back, and someone's like, what's that smell? And he's like, oh, don't worry about it, bro. It's cool. And he like hides the briefcase or something.
I don't want him to win.
Do we think he is, though? But even though he just lost to Roman Reigns? No.
Well, Rob thinks he is. I don't think he is. I just
see him going around the scooter with the brief, and I hope I'm wrong.
I mean, I could see that too, but just them. Then again, though, they had to have this emergency booking with. Yeah. I mean, that's why Edge got kicked out of his own faction because of this emergency booking. I don't.
And he could also hold the briefcase for a long time. I know he just lost to Roman, but he could hold it for a long time. And when he does cash it in, it's something new. But anyway, we've taken enough of Kimmy's time.
Yes,
Kimmy, go on.
In the words of the Backstreet Boys, tell me why.
So here's a fun fact. So this Saturday is actually my 12-year. Mike, stop singing. This Saturday is my 12-year wrestling anniversary.
I thought you were going to say your 12th birthday. That's awesome, Kimmy. Good for you.
So it is my 12-year wrestling anniversary. And how perfect would it be if he won?
That's a nice anniversary present.
That is a nice anniversary after the year and a half we've had of him losing. And, injury bugs make stars. Rob said it. People pop out. Rollins is that utility player. Rollins is the one that's going to climb that ladder. He's going to grab that briefcase. And I just want to say that I said for months, I picked Rollins on every prediction show. And this is the first time everyone here almost picked Rollins. That is like God sent.
Yeah.
I
beautiful.
Don't know, man.
I'm not done yet.
Go ahead.
Y'all talk for like 20 minutes.
I'm
just like, I know. I'm just like, can someone please, Rollins? It has to be him. Like that poster, he can have so much fun with the strip club character. Like him laughing when Cena came, laughing his entrance. I was dying. Did you not watch Raw?
Oh, no. I did. I had a brilliant idea that if/when Seth wins it, he decks out the briefcase. I'm all about using the briefcase as a prop. He decks out the briefcase in the same skin of whatever suit he's wearing that week. Like,
oh yes. I mean, he did complain when he won it the first time that he hated carrying that around. So I don't know how much he's going to love it the second time. But I mean, he has the bus this time. And then he also has the baby. But then if Becky also wins, they have 2 briefcases. The baby could just play with it on the bus. So, toys for the baby. We love that. But it has to be Seth. It's his time. Kevin Owens, I feel bad for Owens just because, when you suffer such a big loss of WrestleMania, you always pay your dues and you always get something down the line. And Owens just hasn't gotten that. And for my man to lose 3 times, especially to someone who didn't have an arm, can we just talk about this? Cody had 1 arm. Rollins had 2. Rollins still lost. Where was the logic in that? I don't understand.
3-limb Cody is better than 4-limb Seth. I'm just saying.
It's ridiculous. I don't understand.
I got a question for Kimmy. What if this TBD is John Cena?
Then Rollins is gonna smash his knee into his nose again, and then make his nose explode, and Cena's gonna lose again.
Okay.
I mean, my fear is that the TBD is actually Cody.
No. I would love it. I would absolutely love it, but I mean.
Oh, I think it's too soon too, but that's my fear.
Well, he shouldn't have been in Hell in the. You talk about too soon. He shouldn't have been in Hell in the Cell. Like, and he did that anyway. So I don't think it's a ridiculous pick that Cody could be that 8th person or 7th person, whatever it is.
I mean, I think the TBD is Cody, and then Rollins finally wins, and then what?
You think Cody's going to come as a surprise return, and Seth is going to win?
Yes.
To be fair, I think TBD is going to be Theory. So
right.
Depending on the order of the card, depends, but
I don't think Rollins cashed in at SummerSlam. I think Rollins cashed in at Survivor Series because it's the Shield's 10-year anniversary.
No, he needs to cash in at SummerSlam, Kimmy.
I know he does.
Kimmy.
I want him to. Listen, that moment is pinned up on my wall right here, framed, of him holding that title at WrestleMania 31 after the best cash-in ever. I want it to happen at SummerSlam, but I feel like that's so obvious and everyone thinks that. So why not change it up? It's the Shield's 10-year anniversary. But then I think about it like, if Drew doesn't win the title from Roman, you could do Seth with 1 title versus Roman with 1 title at Survivor Series on the 10-year anniversary. Like, wow, that's really how you sell out a stadium, WWE, but you won't do that. But it has to be Seth. And my 12-year wrestling anniversary, I'm going to be in tears when I see Rollins win the Money in the Bank.
All right.
Welcome to Rollins in the Bank, ladies and gentlemen. I hope we're all ready for this.
You know what? I'll give you this, Kimmy. I think you're picking with your heart a little bit, but I give you this. You stay true to the superstar that you believe in. I'll give you that. I thought you were literally going to bring in that giant cardboard Seth and just like put it.
It's right next to me over there. I mean, you can see my graduation cap. It's Seth Rollins' theme. It says "Be Like No One" when he was on the cover of WWE 2K18, and that has the fire for him, and that has the logo. So that's my Seth Rollins representation for today.
Interesting. Welcome in.
Yes, Ella.
Go ahead, Ella, please.
What if the TBD is WWE's newest signee?
That's what I don't want it to be. I said that before we started. I was like, what if it's Logan Paul? And I was like, oh my God.
Well.
It won't be. It won't be.
No, he's going to feud with Miz.
Or,
and you don't,
what if it's Miz? Yeah. Wait, what if the TBD is Miz and then Logan Paul costs him? And that sets up their match at SummerSlam?
Possible.
That is possible. That is possible, but you are not going to put Logan Paul in Money in the Bank.
It's a ladder match,
where people get hurt all the day. I still think about Sheamus's injury from like 8 years ago or whatever it was. Good call. With all the money they just threw at him, no way.
Awesome.
But I could see it being Miz and Logan comes in to ruin it for him. I can totally see that.
Makes a lot of sense. We're gonna wind it up here, guys. You knocked it out of the park as always. Welcome in, Man. Is that Seth Rollins, the Man's Man? In the chat, please subscribe on YouTube. You missed the show, but please watch the replay. Hit that subscribe button, and my microphone's running away again, guys. Thank you so much for being here. But before we get out of here, I'm a drummer. We're all about that shameless promo here on the BCP. I don't want to forget our sponsors, Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore in Englishtown, New Jersey. Guys, thanks for always supporting our literal favorite store on the planet. All these action figures and stuff you see, because I am a grown man-child, are all over the room thanks to Funkenstein. They have Ghostbusters, Turtles, G.I. Joes, wrestling, X-Men, Marvel superheroes, Pop Funkos, stuff from my childhood, like I got the Rick Moranis figure, like where you put cold water on him and it looks like he gets slimed, like from Ghostbusters, like stuff I forgot existed. Funkenstein Wrestling Superstore in Englishtown, New Jersey, at the flea market Saturday and Sundays in the morning, but you can also go online. They have an eBay store, so check them out. Thank you, Dan and Heather, for sponsoring the show. We love you guys. You're the best. And before we get out of here, let's get some shameless promo around the room. And everyone watching, I want you to subscribe and follow these guys and gals. Let's start with Kimmy.
Oh, wow. Didn't think we were going to start
the
here.
Longest first, huh?
I know, right? So I guess I'll try to be short. I'll try my bestest here. So Warriors of Wrestling on July 9th. We have Alan Angels, 5 from the Dark Order. Oh, yeah, Rob will be there. I heard about this on Sunday.
Can't wait to see
Joe
Serpentico.
was like, what about me?
Oh, I can't wait to see you and Shane. We need to get a picture. I can't wait.
Yes.
Kimmy
So
charges
yeah,
for pictures.
I do. I charge $10 for pictures.
True.
So I really don't. That's not true. So make sure to tune in. So make sure to go if you're in the Staten Island area because Staten Island has wrestling. Shockingly, trash is in Staten Island except for me. I'm Pete Davidson and Kimmy Sokol is what makes Staten Island. That's not even a quote from me. That's a quote from my friends. So there's that. Then. So I don't know if I'm going yet, but I'll promote it anyway for a good vendor. So if you're going to Nashville, you can meet Paige at StarCast. So you should totally do that. I know you're going to be there. I'm trying.
No, I'm meeting her too.
Awesome.
Oh, are you?
Nice.
So
I've waited 8 years. You're damn right I am.
as you should. And I'm trying to go to Nashville and it's not working. So I'd like to go.
Ella J. Paige interview. I'm manifesting that. I want to see that.
Yes.
On social media.
It's unfortunately not happening. We tried. We tried.
Oh.
Fine.
So that's a thing during SummerSlam weekend in Nashville. Go to StarCast, y'all. There's a lot of cool things there. Nella will be there. So that's just worth the price of admission right there, guys. So then Icons of Wrestling, August 6th, the old ECW Arena, Candice LeRae, Chelsea Green, Penelope Ford, and me. Yay! So do that. I got it. Okay, so next week is my birthday. And then August 20th is WrestleBash. I gotta remember, August is a busy month. August 20th, we got WrestleBash. They've announced people today. I haven't been looking at my phone. Camp is driving me crazy. I know Orange Cassidy's gonna be there, and he, the best friends are back, so you should, meet Orange Cassidy. And I think that's it for conventions for me. I don't know. I also write for thepopbreak.com. And I'm going to write my predictions for this. And then I get my whole page of why Seth Rollins is going to win. And everyone's on their phones and I'm giving this beautiful, except for Ella.
I'm not.
Mike. I know Mike and Rob are literally on their phones. That's so rude.
We're texting each other.
I'm literally sharing this everywhere so everyone can hear your amazing shameless promo.
Me too.
Thank you.
Me too.
Oh, you totally are. Then I'm going to be the social media editor at some point. And then do I do other things? I don't know.
You're a free agent.
I'm a free agent. Book me. I'm almost booked for the year, actually. There's only 2 shows I'm not booked for, which is scary. It's June. Booked for the year.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ella, go ahead. Your shameless promo. Sorry, I fell asleep.
I'm leaving. I'm about to leave the Zoom call.
I'm still here.
Yes, I want to hear all about it. Tell me
I
everything.
will be at AEW Dynamite next week in
What?
Rochester, so that's gonna be fun. I'm kind of sad we didn't get Blood and Guts, but it's fine. That's gonna be fun. Like Kimmy said, I will be in Nashville on behalf of SC Scoops for StarCast. I'll be at SummerSlam. Don't know if I'll be doing media yet for them. We're trying. But also my 3-year anniversary of a Wrestling Gale is coming up in 2 weeks. So I got a fun episode coming up. That's going to be super fun. It's something I haven't done before. So I'm excited to drop that. Kimmy's like, what could it be? You'll have to tune in to find out.
I will.
But yeah. Otherwise, you can follow me on Twitter at It's Ella J and find all the links in my link tree in my bio.
Awesome. Thank you, Ella, for being here. And we know you're going to kill it at Starrcade and SummerSlam. I can't wait to see.
StarCast.
It's StarCast.
I knew they were going to
Here
say
comes the joke.
Starrcade is the name of a WCW pay-per-view,
Thank
my
you.
dude.
Thank you, Kimmy.
In the 80s.
I'm old. The memory.
I wasn't born, by the way. So
I wasn't
I know
either.
that.
I wasn't either.
Mike, save us all.
I was born, unfortunately. You can find. I am old. You can find me on Facebook at Sweet Chin Musings. I technically am on Twitter still. It's still at Closet Champ because I haven't figured out how to change that. But I rarely use Twitter. So if you're interested in what we have to do, follow me on Facebook. We're doing a really fun, interactive best tag team tournament poll. Voting is live right now. There's a couple really close matches, and my all-time favorite tag team looks like they are definitely getting knocked out in the first round. So I'm sad about that.
Who is it?
As they should. Who is
New
it?
Age Outlaws. The Outlaws, they're currently losing to DIY by a pretty wide margin. So it was a tough first round. It was a tough draw. But
Yeah,
lots of fun teams in there.
I voted for
Yeah.
DIY.
That's
I
okay.
voted for DIY. Just letting you know.
As long as you voted, I just vote.
I did
And
vote.
that's my
I
message,
did
by the
vote.
way, in general. Just vote. I don't care who you vote for. Just vote. I want to get those numbers up. But yeah, me and my buddy Luke, we do podcasts about every other week. I'm going to be there for Money in the Bank. We're doing an immediate reaction podcast that will hopefully be going up that same day, maybe later. It is Vegas, so we might get distracted. Distractions happen easily there. Other than that, I'm going to be resuming writing for the Pop Break very soon for my second season of Big Brother recaps. So if you're a trash reality TV fan like I
you
am,
are speaking my language. Unfortunately, the premiere is on the same day I'll be at AEW, but it's fine.
That's
fine.
okay. That's what DVR is for. There's nothing wrong with that. So I'm really excited to be doing that. Other than that, not really doing a whole lot, just hanging out here on the Bob Culture Podcast, making everyone else look good. I put everyone over. So that's
even if it hurts sometimes.
Even if it hurts sometimes, even if you do the little heartburn. But yeah, that's about it. And as always, Rob, it's a pleasure for you to have me on your show. And thank you so much once again. Let's kick it back to Rob. What do you do, man?
Oh, man, I do lots of stuff. Kimmy already mentioned Warriors of Wrestling, July 9th in Staten Island. I can't wait to be there on the call. Like she mentioned, we got some of the Dark Order, Alan Angels. We got Serpentico. I'm psyched to see him back in the Northeast again. Very excited. We got Titan, July 16th, Bayville, Elks Lodge. Check that out. Johnny Moran, Anthony Gangone, TJ Marconi, the Thanos of the Indies. Triple threat match for the Titan Heavyweight Championship. I'll be there. Lots of shameless promo. But, guys, I do want to thank you guys for making time tonight. Enjoy Money in the Bank. Ella, have a safe trip. Kimmy, I'll see you in Staten Island. Mike, one day I'll shake your hand. But guys,
I wanted to say, too, when I visit you in New Jersey, you have to take me to Funkenstein because I'm dying to check it out.
It's awesome. So, shameless. And
cool.
You're getting the shameless promo, man. Look at you looking at. I appreciate it. Thanks to our sponsor, Shameless Promo. And, guys, like we always say here on the BCP, everyone stay safe, stay positive. Take care of each other. We out. Peace.